The other day, I was out hiking off trail, and after finding a really cool elk antler, I was sitting there taking pictures. And as I started ascending back up this little avalanche gully, I just heard a thump, thump, thump. And when I looked up, I saw four giant rocks releasing from the mountainside above. Now, they were hurtling towards me, and I had to figure out which way to maneuver so I didn't get struck by these rocks, which ended up with me just going in between two of them. If I had been wearing something like in-ear headphones, I would have never heard the warning signs that these rocks were releasing from the mountainside above. And 100% would have been either impacted by the rocks, and if I hadn't died from the impact of the rocks, I would have died after falling back down this extremely steep draw. Now, this leads me into the importance of always being aware of your surroundings, which is why I want to review Suunto's two new bone conducting headphones. Now, I am not one of those in-depth review channels, so if that's what you're looking for with this video, you can look elsewhere. But what I am is a hybrid mountain athlete that can give you specific use cases and my experience with these headphones and how they work in the real world. So first of all, who is Suunto? So Suunto is a really well-known GPS running watch brand. In fact, my first ever GPS running watch was a Suunto, and it worked out great. But recently, Suunto has gotten into the headphone game by introducing their two models of bone conducting headphones. So now you're probably wondering, well, what the heck are bone conducting headphones? So bone conducting headphones are simply headphones that conduct sound via the bone near your ear rather than in your ear proper. What that means is that the sounds actually travel via your bone to your eardrum than actually having a headphone in your ear that we're all used to. And because the ears remain completely open, this allows you to be way more aware of your surroundings and your environment when you're wearing headphones and listening to music, a podcast, or whatever it is that you might be listening to. Basically, what I'm saying is that these are way safer to use when you're in the wilderness or you're on a bike on the road rather than having something like an in-ear headphone. Suunto has came out with two different models of bone conducting headphones. One is called the Wing and then one is called the Sonic. The Suunto Wing is a little bit more expensive. It has flashing LED lights, which are really great for even more added visibility and safety. It can also be controlled by head movement, and then it comes with its own portable power bank. The Sonic, on the other hand, is a little bit less expensive. They're lighter, they have a little bit better sound quality. So now I kind of want to get into some pros and cons with each one of these headphones. The first big pro that I have with both of these models is that you can pause, start, stop, skip, and adjust the volume right on the headphones. And that's really important to me because with my AirPods, I can only stop and then skip back or skip forward for music. I really like the fact that I can adjust the volume on the headphone and I don't have to pick up my phone to do that. And while we're kind of on the topic of comparing them to things like AirPods or other in-ear Bluetooth headphones, the reason I really love these Suunto headphones is the fact that a lot of times when you have an AirPod or an in-ear headphone and you start sweating profusely, they're gonna get wet and then they have a proclivity to pop out of your ear. And once they get wet, it's super hard to get that suction back into your ear at all, no matter how much you try drying them off. This is why I love wearing my Suunto headphones for things like high intensity interval training when I'm at the gym and I'm sweating a lot, or other really intense sweat filled workouts. You don't have to worry about these popping off. These are gonna stay on your head. And probably my biggest use case and probably the biggest pro with both of these models is my use of these when I'm in the mountains. I just went on a ski touring trip the other day and I was wearing these on the ascent when I knew there was no danger of rockfall or anything like that, but I still want to be aware of my surroundings. These worked out famously because I could hear what was going on still, I could be aware of my surroundings, but I was still getting some of that extra oomph to get up the mountain that happens when you are listening to music, right? That's something that I don't like doing with in-ear headphones because again, it just takes away the environment completely. With these two models, there's also a lot of uses outside of fitness or in the mountains. And this was really apparent to me when I have been going to work sites to help my buddy's business. And this is more blue collar work, but a lot of people there were wearing bone conducting headphones. And the reason was because they could still have conversations at their workplace, but they could still have their music playing or turn it on when they wanted to. So there's a lot of use cases outside of, biking in the mountains or fitness. You can also use these potentially at your workplace. Now, there is 2 drawbacks that I want to talk about with these 2 models. And number 1 is the sound quality. So this is very, very common and very typical of bone conducting headphones from what I understand. And that's just typically because of the fact that they're not going in ear, they're gonna be, again, conducting on your bone. What I find with these headphones in particular are there's not a lot of bass with it. It's a little tingy, but that's not what they're designed for. They're not designed to have the best audio quality in the world. They're designed with safety in mind. And then the other drawback would really just kind of be, and it's not that big of one, but the fact that there has to be different chargers for these headphones is kind of a pain in the butt, just because I like using the same charger that I charge my phone with that I do with my Apple AirPods. That's really nice just to have the same charger all in one, but not a total break thing for me. Now, I have never used bone conducting headphones before, and I will admit, before Suunto sent me these to review, I was kind of skeptical on these. And so I am a convert, I will say that. I love using these headphones for specific use cases, which would be on my bike, it would be high intensity interval workouts, and it would be in the mountains. For my conventional style workouts where I'm not sweating that much, maybe I'm just in the gym pumping iron, I'm still gonna be using my AirPods for that. But for all those other use cases, I love both of these models to use.